Hello, Beard Wizard family. Welcome back to the show. I'm your host, Beard Wizard Man, also known as Trevor on social media. Links to all of which you're going to find in that video description below, including ways to support this channel, like clicking that red subscribe button and joining the Beard Wizard family. We're shooting for 7,500. As soon as we can get there, I'm not pigeonholing myself this year and saying we'll do it by the end of the year, but thank you to so many who have subscribed since the turn of the year. We're setting a great pace, so I really appreciate it. There's other ways to check it out, like thebeardstruggle.com. If you need the same things I use to maintain this magnificent wizard beard, check that out as well. So it's Thursday, and on Thursdays we usually take a look at new artists, content creators, musicians who we have not previously reviewed on the channel. And it just so happens that we got our first member request from Elena to take a look at this song. And it's Thursday, and we have not reviewed Hard Target or Cymple Man yet. So we are going to take a look at their song Sun Goes Down. It's a collaboration between these two artists. We're talking about the song, pause necessary, all that good stuff. This is a live review show. If you're new here, it's not a reaction channel. Similar, you guys call it that sometimes, it's fine, doesn't bother me. I just don't want people getting the wrong impression. I have listened to this before. I have tried to study the lyrics as much as possible to understand what the song is about. Ripley back there sneezing for some reason. But this song, there's a lot going on in this song, and I'll put this caveat forward initially. I'm not much of a country guy. I'm a rockhead. That's, I'm a metalhead. I always have been. I do listen to rap. I have listened to country in the past. I grew up in Georgia for a good portion of my formative years, and you can't live in Georgia without hearing country music pretty regular. So I grew to appreciate country music for what it is, the talent behind it, and the artists and the creativity and the writing. And there's several country artists who I do consider very good musicians, and I'll listen to them from time to time. Just not something that's normally on my playlist. So we're going to take a look at Sun Goes Down from Hard Target and Cymple Man and see what we think here. So let's take a look. Cheers.
Please, Father, forgive me for the hell that I know I deserve. I can't wash away the blood on my hands. Long nights, liquor bottles in these smoke-filled rooms. These Hail Marys can't cover who I am. I'm a bad man living in purgatory. The devil convinced me that I'm a kill and die a martyr. In the Badlands, I listened and heard the stories. The people against me are gonna finish what they started. I married at 38, she rusty but loyal to me. We'll meet at the pearly gates, but I know that she truly knew me. And she accepted me for my faults when I left her back in Jessup with 5 hollow children on the dresser. Cause when the sun goes down in Georgia.
So in that first part, and very quick delivery from Hard Target. I've actually listened to him before, and I didn't review him. Some of you guys know, some of you may not know. With the recent beef with Upchurch and Adam Calhoun, when I start reviewing or get interested in diss tracks and rap beats, I generally only care about the two people who are having the beef. So I listened to Hard Target. Actually, Hard Target's diss of Upchurch was probably one of the best ones. There was a couple that I think were really, really good. Hard Target's was one of the best ones. I just didn't review it because it wasn't about Hard Target versus Upchurch at the time. It was Adam. But anyway, his rap is great. His writing, his delivery is fantastic. There was a section, there's actually a couple things in there. When I first listened to this, I thought he said, I married at 38, but he said, I married a 38. And when I went back to this, I wonder if it made me think, is he talking about a car? Because he says, I married a 38. She's rusty and loyal. Won't meet at the pearly gates. I thought he said we will. So I misheard him the first time around and read the lyrics. So I'm wondering if he's talking about a car here. The first part of it, though, I like how he says, he's kind of going into how some of us feel sometimes that, as much as we do wrong, we feel like we'll never be forgiven for it. And then later they're going to revisit that a little bit with the theme of we keep doing wrong until right at the end when we ask for forgiveness. It's something Cymple Man's going to touch on later. And then finally he mentions, I left her back in Jessup. I actually went to high school in Jessup. I graduated from Jessup High School. I lived in a small town 500 people called Scriven, which is about 20 minutes outside of Jessup. So I thought that's the first time I've heard Jessup mentioned in a song. I thought that was, I actually had to go look and see, is he from there? Because I'm like, who is going to write a song about Georgia and call it Jessup when you have Atlanta, Savannah, um, uh, there, Brunswick. There's so many different towns, so many more popular towns in Georgia, and he called out Jessup. I thought that was kind of neat. But great opening, fantastic delivery from Hard Target, and he's really good. He's a great rapper. And then, so this song is sort of a blend of country rap and I guess what you would call traditional country music. More traditional than what we hear a lot of today, anyway.
The Lord ain't there and it's hell to pay.
Okay.
The old man.
Gotcha, OG, and welcome. That actually explains the last line. But why would you have a rusty gun? So now I'm frustrated that he left his gun rusty. But that does make sense. The 5 hollowed children on the dresser. I was trying to figure out, is he talking about bullets? So that kind of makes sense. Married to 38, because the song is kind of about killing somebody and committing a sin so grievous that you don't think you might be able to be saved from it or forgiven. So that makes a lot of sense too, OG. I agree. It makes more sense as a 38 special rather than a 38 Ford. So here we go.
Tell to pay. The old man by the tombstone looking for blood. Got a blackbird on his grave. I killed a man in West Virginia, and I ain't been right since that day. I'm reminded of the evil in the dirt that I did every time I try to pray as I fall. I feel like Bobby Johnson at the crossroads with a bottle watching.
That was
the world
a great
go left,
reference.
knowing the stopping's not an option.
That was a great reference. A ton of artists who talk about making the deal with the devil. So for those who don't know, Bobby Johnson, or Robert Johnson, was a traveling musician in the early 1900s. I think he died 1940-ish, somewhere around there. And there is this story, and I think he even wrote a song about it, about selling his soul to the devil at the crossroads to become famous, to basically get better, be a better musician. And a lot of musicians will either reference that in the song saying they sold their soul to the devil. I've heard a ton of rock songs about that, but it's also referenced in movies and shows. I mean, Supernatural did a whole episode about selling your soul at the crossroads. So I love that he attributes that to Bobby Johnson rather than saying that he did it. He feels like Bobby Johnson at the crossroads, which great reference and very well used. I like the way they did that.
Evil in the dirt that I did every time I try to pray as I fall. I feel like Bobby Johnson at the crossroads with a bottle watching. The world go left, knowing the stopping's not an option. The devil playing possum, so we can blame the arson on our fellow downtrodden, proud commoners down bottom. Till we surround the coffins, say our goodbyes and live on. As a Baptist pastor cast away the fire and brimstone. Our appetite for sinners never satisfied till we bite the bullet. Saying the same prayer a million times, is that wise or foolish? Cause I ain't been right since.
There's that part that I said they'd revisit. You know, we continue to sin until it's time to bite the bullet, until it's finally time to answer for it. We just keep going, saying the same prayer over and over again and doing the same thing. But this one phrase now kind of makes me rethink too the way he said, the devil's playing possum. Where'd it go? The devil's playing possum, so we can blame the arson on our fellow downtrodden, proud commoners down bottom. That, I don't know if Cymple Man is specifically talking about, say, the people in power, the government, the media, politicians, whoever, but playing that division, keeping us divided amongst people we have more in common with than not. And so we blame other people who are just as downtrodden or in just the same situations as us. We blame them for all the problems. That is a weapon of the powerful. That is a weapon of people who want to maintain that power, is to keep the people below them fighting amongst themselves. So to attribute to the devil in using that same sort of reference was pretty clever. I liked that a lot. Sorry, I keep going back to the lyrics because in a lot of the cases, I mean, these lyrics are really good. They're really well written. They're a lot deeper than we often get sometimes with some of this stuff. So very well done from these guys.
Goodbyes and live on as a Baptist pastor, cast away the fire and brimstone. Our appetite for sinners never satisfied till we bite the bullet. Saying the same prayer a million times, is that wise or foolish? Cause I ain't been right since I seen the light vanish from another man's eyes like an innocent bystander. But the gun was in my hand and I was not panicked. I guess death felt a bit organic, simple man.
When the sun goes down in Georgia, the Lord ain't there and it's hell to pay. The old man by the tombstone looking for blood, got a blackbird on his grave. I killed a man in West Virginia, and I ain't been right since that day. I'm reminded of the evil in the dirt that I did every time I try to pray as I fall from grace.
Can barely stand my own reflection. A rambling man with no connections. Till the good Lord provides me direction, I keep this pistol for my own protection. My sins may wash away, our blue skies turn to gray.
Lost for words as a blackbird singing goodbyes on my grave.
When the sun goes down in Georgia, the Lord ain't there and it's hell to pay. The old man by the tombstone looking for blood, got a blackbird on his grave. I killed a man in West Virginia, and I ain't been right since that day. I'm reminded of the evil in the dirt that I did every time I try to pray as I fall from grace.
That's good. It's a great song.
Yeah, to the nod, dog.
That's really good. Thank you for the suggestion, Elena. I had Hard Target on my list to eventually take a look at, and I've heard Cymple Nan's name come up a couple times recently too. That was really good, and a great blend of rap and country. Some pretty deep lyrics about forgiveness and not feeling like you're worthy, but also continue like the. Well, Elena, welcome. Sorry you caught the end. You can always rewind it or if you don't rewind it, give YouTube like 15, 20 minutes to process it. If you try to watch it right away, it takes YouTube a little while to process the live feed and get it into a video. But thank you for stopping in, and thank you so much for the suggestion, Elena. Great song. Hard Target and Cymple Man definitely going in the book. We will be looking at them again in the future. This was a great track with some pretty deep lyrics, fantastic beat, well written, well delivered. Those guys are good. Those guys are a couple of the better rappers, probably best rappers I've listened to out of the country rap scene in a while. And, no joke, no lie. I've listened to a few. I'm not even the biggest fan of Adam. And while I do listen to his stuff, I could listen to this a lot more. That was a great track. Lena says, I'm going to replay when you're done. Give the view. Thank you. I appreciate it. Appreciate the suggestion. OG, Elena, everybody else, thank you guys for being here. I really appreciate you guys so much. And I'll see y'all again soon. I should be on tonight on the channel with some gaming. I don't know what yet. We'll see. You guys have a great one. Much love.